No.
Yeah, my name is Don Hatch. That's my borrowed name. My Indian name is Spadubkut, and I received it from my mother, who was my great grandfather's Indian name. And so I'm really proud of that when I go around and in all the functions that we have as Native Americans. But my partner Rob, talked to me about some different things about enrollment. And there's a lot of different opinions I have, in about 72, 3, or 4, something like that. My wife got enrolled because her tribe in Muckleshoot, she got a chance to get enrolled here within the Tulalip Tribes because her tribe Muckleshoot was part of the Point Elliott Treaty. Well, she got enrolled, and slowly we changed over and made it a lot tougher. So there's a lot of them that can't get enrolled here, even though they're got Tulalip blood in them, and to me, sometimes it's not fair. And I'm trying to figure out how to balance this out so we treat all of our Indian people fairly. And some of the older ones are the ones that are left out as well, because they don't come home, and they get left out. Their children get left out, and their grandchildren get left out. And I don't know how to balance this out, because they always say, well, they're urban Indians, but they're still our people, our Indian people, and we always forget about that. We always say, well, they're Indians that live in town. Well, they're still our Native Americans, because I look at Seattle and a lot of our people that's in Seattle, a lot of our Indian people, and Chief Seattle Club, and a lot of them that are there from different reservations, out of state, in state, and Canada, and different places that are surviving in Seattle. And hopefully there's some ways that there can be some changes, because even the Bureau of Indian Affairs discriminate against the Native Americans. When they're less than 1/4, there's no benefits they can qualify for within the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So I wonder, where do we go from here? What do we do with the Indians? They're all our people. They're all our relatives. But we say, no more, we can't take care of you. And sometimes I think we ought to look at ourselves, look in the mirror and says, what would we do if we were in that position? Would we just say, no, we can't? And I'd feel hurt, because I'm an Indian, and I think that all of our people should be treated like that. And some of the people that don't get enrolled can't get enrolled because they lived off the reservation for so many years. And their parents moved away. Some of them are foster parents. I'm going to use my nephew as an example. He was adopted out, so there's no way he lived on the reservation. But the qualifications then, when he come back, when he got enrolled, a lot of them were able to get enrolled. 4 of the children got enrolled. The 5th one couldn't get enrolled because the qualifications changed within our tribe. And I think it's totally unfair, because you got a family of 5 and 4 of them are enrolled, and the 5th child can't be enrolled. You wonder, what are we doing? We're discriminating against our own Indian people. And like was said before by a lot of different people, is that the non-Indians make us this way as Indian people, because we become selfish. We know how the casino has put us in that position now. We got a casino, we're not going to let these other ones in, because what is mine, and what little you have is you're going to keep. You're not going to have any more of mine. You're not going to have any educational benefits, you're not going to have any health benefits, you're not going to have any benefits. And I think it's totally unfair. And I think we ought to take a look at that and look in the mirror sometimes when we get up in the morning and say, how can we help our fellow Indian to become more successful, instead of slamming him on the floor and saying, well, you stay there because that's where you belong. We as Indian people were treated that way years ago. You Indians ought to go back to the reservation where you belong. I was told that by a teacher in the 50s. And I think we need to be able to support each other a lot more than what we have been. And we ain't doing a very good job of it right now. And the sovereign immunity, I had a chance back, I think it was about 15 years ago, to go back there. 7 tribal leaders got to testify in front of the Senate Select Committee and talk about why we need it. And it was really a privilege as one of the tribal leaders in our tribe to be able to do that. But it's something that when we have it, we need to share it with all of our Indian people. So some people can be 100% Native American, but they still can't qualify in some of their own reservations because there's so many pieces. They could be 1/16 in 16 different tribes and they don't qualify. Or they could be a quarter in 4 different ones and they can't qualify. What are we doing here? We're just discriminating against our Indian people, and I think we need to change what we feel and how we do things. Because as an elder in my community, being on a tribal council for 26 and a half years, and being on a school board with 11,000 students, and being the only Native American on a school board, we don't try to discriminate against anybody on that. And I try to make sure that as a Native American that we don't discriminate against any students in our school. But yet, we as Indian people discriminate against our own people. How do we stop it? We need to talk about it and how do we get there? And there's a way to get there. And with a lot of prayer with each other, there can be a lot of changes. But if we don't do any changes, we're going to have a lot of more Chief Seattle clubs down, like in Seattle, we're going to have it in Portland. We're going to have more of Indian people left out and don't feel like they deserve to go anywhere but down to Skid Road or something like that. And I think until we change, we can't take care of our brothers and sisters. And we need to make sure we do that. And I appreciate Rob allowing me to, say a few words, because it's very important to me that we take care of our Indian people more today than we did yesterday. And tomorrow we just do that much more. Thank you.